Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to round 13, I believe, of the FRL Season 4. We are here where it's very much began for this league at the Canadian Grand Prix at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. The championships might be decided, but there are still positions up and down the grid up for grabs, especially in the midfield, especially in the lower midfield of the grid. I'm Nexi. I'm joined here in the commentary booth by Sierra and
Hello,
Prid. Qualifying will be underway here at this quite quick circuit. Lap times on the softs will be around the 112s, as we are now awaiting our drivers to get going. Mercedes and...
Like I say, there are a lot of places here though where you can really ruin a lap. The turn 1, 2, 3, you can get a massive amount of oversteer, and there are a lot of corners where it just begs you to cut them and validate your lap. And that's not including the Wall of Champions, which I can imagine somebody's going to end up hitting it in this quali. It may not outright retire the car, but it will definitely make a very long back trip to the pits.
Yep, and we are seeing Avo coming out. Would it be poetry if our current clinched drivers champion Leo hits the wall here today?
Well, he's the only one that's won the drivers. Well, the only one that's already won any of the titles that is racing, so
Yeah.
by that logic, he should be the only one to hit it.
Exactly. Claimed drivers like Michael Schumacher, Villeneuve hit it. A lot of them hit it. Right, we have Avo is going to be the first one out, and he's going to be the first one setting the pace. The Aston Martin team are in a tight fight for P8 in the Constructors' Championship, 10 points behind Williams. Ties is also here, representing Williams. Skylar is not, and with only 10 drivers participating, this is a good chance for points.
It's also very crucial because Alfa Romeo are only 3 points behind them after that, and Laz is here as well, and I remember correctly, this is his home race, isn't it?
No, Laz is American.
Getting confused. I think I was getting confused with Skylar, who unfortunately does have to miss.
Yep. Skylar is, I think, the only Canadian driver that we have on our grid, the Dragon. Unable to make it today. Has had a lot going on recently. A lot of drivers unable to make it today. It just seems to be a bad day, as Avo gets the ball rolling with a 20-second first sector.
Oh, there is a bit of a yellow flag. I think someone spun it.
That would be Glazzy, or if he did spin it.
Somebody's off the... I think Ties is off the track in turn 1.
Ooh, that's bad for his lap. He should be on his flyer. He's gonna have to abort this one. Yeah, his battery is empty. Did he have his battery on his outlap?
I'm not sure.
We do have Evo about to cross the line here. Gonna be a 1:11.8.
That's a fairly decent time, actually.
Yeah, that was faster than
really
anything.
Good time.
It was faster than most of the practice times. We'll have to give him that one. That was a really good time.
We'll see how it stacks up to Zed, who's just now crossing the line, coming out of the final chicane.
Yep, here they go. A 1:13.0, so almost a second ahead of somebody who is usually a rival to the Aston Martins. Zed and Skylar have had many great battles, not just in this season, but they seem to be glued to each other whenever they're racing together. Laz, Aston Martin's primary competition, 112.1, so Avo getting the ball rolling very strong for the green British outfit.
Yeah, but here comes Morgan with a 111.3 just to tumble those times a little bit further.
Yep. There's Ties setting the 130 that comes from the aborted lap, but he will technically have a lap time if somebody crashes out. Glazzy now going through the hairpin. Here he comes. You want to brake here around 100 meters, let the car roll, maybe get on the throttle to induce some rotation at the apex. That's a purple sector too, according to my track map, but we'll see what that lap produces.
You know, he did get a pretty good run out of that. Didn't have any slide or any oversteer, so it's a very good run into the chicane.
Yep, you want to light tap, and he bonked the wall of champions.
But that doesn't matter, because he gets a 111 flat.
Yeah, might have been a 110 without that bonk there. 111.009 is our provisional pole time. John setting a 112.3.
It must have been. He must have either hit some traffic or had a moment on there, because that's a bit uncharacteristic from him.
Yeah.
See, Avo's already coming out for a second bite of the cherry here.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision. I guess he just wants to clean track, though the Mercedes are going to be coming out.
Is also, it's Canada. You never really know what the weather's going to be like on a Sunday. There might be a completely wet race, and all these tire saving ideas are gone to waste. So you can never be too certain on that. Oh,
yeah. Oh, Luck's out.
Luck's retired.
He might have been in the wall. I couldn't quite catch what happened to Luck there.
No, it looked like it happened on turn 1, like turn 2, coming out of the pits.
Yeah, just maybe out of snap. Some of those curbs there can be a little tricky, a little elevated. The curbs on this track can be quite deadly at times.
Yeah, but you're coming out of the pits. You're not really going to be going that fast out the pits here. Like, you're going straight into a really awkward, on the outside, a very awkward turn with cold tires, especially at Canada. That's going to be a weird one. I would like to see more what happened with that.
Yeah, I would like to see it as well. But here comes Avo now, starting his flying lap. Getting a nice, strong run through that first sector. It's purple!
It's a purple sector 1!
Okay. Oh, but he cuts the corner.
I was going to say, that looked a little bit off. Yeah, he's instantly gone into recharge.
Yeah.
That was invalidating. Really unfortunate.
Yeah, invalidating what was looking to be a strong pace.
That corner though, that is one of the worst corners for track limits, and I imagine we'll see a lot of penalties on that one there, as well as turn 4 and 5.
Yeah. So here comes our world champion Leo, going through sector 1 now. I wouldn't be surprised to see a purple here. Going right downhill there. That's a very fast sequence.
19.7.
Indeed. He snakes through. DRS flap opening up. And here, it can be deceptively short. That's one of those chicades where you feel like you could take a lot more speed than you can sometimes.
Yeah, you can really... If you take too much speed there, you're going to either hit the bump or hit the wall, and either way, it's not a nice time.
Yeah, but Leo expertly navigating through those corners. He's going through the Wall of Champions. We'll see. No bunk.
Navigates it quite safely, leaves quite a bit on the exit there. And a
Yeah.
110.8.
Yeah,
That will be the time to beat.
indeed. Seems like he just wanted to set a pretty good banker time. Ties barely beating out Avo there by only a couple hundredths. Avo with a 111.5.
He's really bringing the fight today.
Yeah. Like, he's he's 2/10, excuse me, off of Morgan right now. Half a second off of Glazzy. Last week, I think his time compared to both those drivers was within multiple seconds. So, really just working hard here. Getting a lot out of that Aston Martin. Speaking of Glazzy, we do have him starting a new attempt. We'll see what he could do. We also have John and Laz on flyers. The Sparkle Dog looking to get through. That's 8.
I think he's invalidated.
He's
yeah,
invalidated.
I think he did it turn 3. That is the one corner you always see it happening on.
Yeah.
I think Leo's going for another lap here.
Huh. So Leo fueling up for multiple laps. John has no improvement right now.
He's 2 temps up on Sector 1!
Whew. Laz was invalidated. I think he's going again. Leo getting a little bit of curb, running over the
Getting
exit.
all of the curve.
Yep. Goes
See,
Apex.
get a good exit. You can't get a cleaner exit than that, really, can you?
Yeah, lifting up those left side tires a little bit. Goes through the wall of champion chicane.
Oh no, he backs out of it.
Huh.
It's 2 purple sectors in a row as well.
Huh. Interesting to see. We do have Drew out on a outlap finally. Drew really likes to save his tires, wait for the last possible moment he can. Blazzy will be the next one to cross the line to set a time. Then it will be Zed, Drew, and Ties. And I see a Sauber moving, I think.
I can't. Yeah, I think that's coming in. That's coming in, not coming out.
Got it. Here comes Glazzy through the World Champion chicane. No, he's pitting.
No, he's going. He's backed out of it as well.
Assuming having not enough fuel. All right, here comes Zed, who has invalidated this lap. They're not going to be able to set a time. Yeah, they must have cut the chicane.
Yeah. There's a lot of places where you can do that on, and I reckon it won't be the last of that either.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of penalties probably coming through that Wall of Champion chicane.
Still, though, it's probably, it is always going to be better to cut it a little bit than to go wide and smack the wall. But Ties has just set a purple sector 1.
Fascinating here. The lap time's coming down for everyone.
It doesn't opt to take as much curve as Leo does, but
yeah,
it definitely gives him up. He's 3/10 off of his last time. That will put him on par with Avo at the moment.
Yep, we'll see what he could do going down to the Wall of Champion chicane. Going through Ayrton Senna right now is Zed, who seems to be going around again.
Ties comes through the 1:11.2, beating Morgan even.
Yeah, impressive lap there. That puts him leading the second row into the podium position fight. Avo's going to be coming out again.
Looks like Leo. Looks like both. Oh, Glazzy's retired from the session.
Yeah, retiring in the pits. He just doesn't want to set another lap, I don't think. Drew is going very slowly.
I believe he's just trying to get a gap to Leo.
Thought he was on an out lap earlier. I think he might have just been trying to heat the tires, actually. That's Zed coming into the pits, I believe. Yep. Here comes Drew, the last of our drivers to not set a time. Winging around now. Leo is also on a hot lap.
Leo is actually purple in Sector 1 again.
Yep, 10th up.
Oh,
and he invalidates. He validates there. That's going to give Drew a shot. We'll see what he's able to muster.
Nobody is safe from invalidating here. Even the multiple champion Leo has his moments on this track.
Yes, everybody does. Drew not setting the timing sheet to light right now, but still coming around now. That final hairpin. Not taking quite as much curb, but he's going to try to get his time out there.
He's definitely going to be wanting to take the fight to Leo here. This is probably one of his best chances of winning here, especially with Leo seemingly not as quick as normal at the moment.
Yep, 1:10.6. He found a lot of his time through that third sector. That's what made that lap.
That last chicane can make or break. You can gain or lose 6-7 tenths in that chicane alone.
And he seems to have found that time by daring the Wall of Champions and coming out on top right now. 1:10.6 is our provisional pole time with 1 minute to go in the session.
Leo does seem to be going for another lap now, though. He's 2 tenths up. He's purple in Sector 2.
Boy. We will have to see. Avo is also starting his flying lap here. We have ties going... No, that's... Excuse me, that was John, my bad. And Morgan coming around the hairpin now. Leo crossing the line with a 1:10.3. Impressive provisional pole time, but here comes... Sorry, that's... Zed rounding the Wall of Champion chicane.
To start their flying lap now. I believe they will be the last one to cross the line.
It will
might be John.
Cross the line. So John will have a chance to set a lap if he so wishes. That's a Haas peeling into the pits. That's true. Not fueled up enough to go for one more. Laz also peeling into the pits, so it will be Avo who is invalidated his lap.
But Morgan is right behind.
Yeah.
Let's see what she can do. Coming out. Ooh, very squirrely out of the last chicane.
She's in the 1:12 range there, so not good enough. It's then gonna be Zed and then John setting our last 2 laps. Zed in the third sector, opening up that DRS flap, gonna be hitting the Wall Champion chicane with 1:03 on the clock. Going through, very squirrely coming out. They're in the 1:12.
Struggling on the exit. They do improve their time, but not their position, and John comes in to finish up in 7th.
Yeah, improving that position there, but field spread's now 2 seconds. Luck out in 10th after DNFing on what seemed to be the pit exit. But it's Leo and Drew once again topping up our timing sheets in qualifying. Glazzy also having a pretty good qualifying show, and Ties making a strong second row start over Morgan. We'll go to
Avo finishing up on row 3. I think that's his highest qualifying.
Yeah, P6, it could be his. I think that is actually his highest qualifying of this season.
Oh, it appears that Luck managed to unfortunately lock up on the marbles on the pit exit, and just when you lock up there is nothing to stop you from going into that wall. It's right in front of you.
Oh yeah, no. Especially if you snap on it, you're dead.
Yeah.
You are DED dead. Drivers going to be setting up their cars, getting everything ready, getting the strategies all set.
It does look like it's going to be sunny for Canada. It's quite a surprise. You don't most of the time you do see it raining here, so maybe Drew saving his tires might have been the better call, as he does have all those softs to play with, and it's a very short pit lane. It's only 17.5 seconds in full race conditions and only 8 seconds on the safety car, so it's going to be a massive play in strategy here with that.
Yeah, I do have a feeling there will be a safety car for at least once in this race, with the grid as mixed up as it is. See a couple drivers punching above. Not to say that they're bad drivers or just their skill or anything, but when grids tend to get this mixed up, you do tend to see a little bit more hard fighting, a little bit more crashing.
Yeah, expect to see Luck trying to make as big of a charge as he can in the first 2 laps. He'll want to pick off as many people as he can so he can take the fight to his teammate, and also Drew as well.
Yeah,
I imagine John should also start getting up there relatively quickly on the first couple laps.
Yeah, I think after last week, Drew is going to be hungry for his win after getting a penalty for track limits. If he didn't get that penalty, well, he would have won that race in Australia. As it stands, though, he is officially second in the classifications after that. Little bit of a stewarding fight over that result, but well, sometimes that kind of a fight can just lead to you getting hungrier as a driver. So we'll see. We'll see how he manages to do.
I imagine he's going to really, if he can get a good launch off of Leo, I reckon he is going to try and get by him in turn 1. This is a track where, although the DRS is very powerful, overtaking is almost a risk anywhere that isn't turn 1. And trying to follow a car through the Wall of Champions chicane can be very difficult with the dirty air being thrown in your face, causing the rear end to slide all over the place as well.
Yeah, that, let alone going side by side through that, it's almost impossible.
If you're going side by side, somebody is not making that chicane. It's almost a given, really. If you're going side by side, one of you will have to back out of it. And I can't imagine I would see Drew or Luck backing out of it, especially within the first few laps.
All right, here we go. Lining up on pole after the qualifying is Leo, followed by Drew, who is in second place. The second half of Glazzy, who takes up the second row, with Ties leading off behind him. I believe that is his best qualifying of the season so far. Lining up on the third row is Morgan, who's lined up here many times, but not used to the third row. Avery, the the sole Aston Martin in the grid, We didn't have the only Red Bull taking part today. It's John in 7th, followed by the only Sauber today of Laz. Fifth and final row of the grid, Zed leading off against Luck, who DNF'd in the qualifying session as our formation lap train goes through the second sector.
Seems to be a full sweep of medium tyres, except for Morgan, who has opted for the softs and pushing herself into a more than likely 2-stop, rather than a 1-stopper for that. Expect her to get by ties and maybe even Glazzy on the first few laps, as she will try to get as much of a gap as she can, maybe even keep with Drew and Leo if they fight and leech off the DRS there.
Indeed, we expect that. I'm expecting plenty of good fighting from this front row. Drew tends to have decent launches. Leo tends to have decent launches as well. But it'll come down to who reacts quicker to the lights. And who maybe has a little bit less wheel slip.
The odd places first is on the dirty part of the track.
That's Avery missing his grid box. But it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And FRL's away in Montreal! And that's Drew and Leo getting both equally good launches, but it looks like Leo is going to have the lead through the first corner. Morgan side by side with the Williams and ties back there. They're going side by side.
Great start, up to 6th already.
Yeah, Ava's fallen down to the P9. John's up to 5th. Luck has gotten up to 8 past the Sauber and the Aston Martin. Avery, it seems like with that missed grid start, it cost him going down to P9 there. But it looks like Morgan's launch paid off, getting up into P4. Ties down in P6. He's messed up that launch. But our race leader right now is Leo, followed by Drew, followed by Glazzy. Both Hasses can do strategy options, mind.
Glazzy will, though, probably have to hold off on Morgan for a few laps. I can imagine Morgan will be very racy. Especially with those soft tyres.
Yeah, those softs are going to be firing up. I did see Luck and Zed side by side through the hairpin a little bit.
Oh, Morgan's in the pits.
Morgan's in the pit. Did Morgan end up having a rear wing hit? Yep, she's changing her front wing. She is changing her front wing.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So the good start for the McLaren goes down the drain as she now puts on the medium tire. She at least has the flexibility here to go medium hard if she needs to.
She's already now miles in the back here. She'll have to hope for a safety car to get herself back into position here.
Yep, a little bit of a train starting to form around Zed as Luck has managed to get by in that first sector. Avery's going to be looking to take that green Aston Martin past the McLaren there.
Especially seeing Ties up in 5th. Oh, he's going down on the airpin!
Ooh! Ooh, Avery!
He's wide and he hits the wall!
Too deep, little too wide. And now Avery's down in 9th and out of the DRS.
He also has to now make a front wing change as I saw that. But Laz has taken the opportunity to go round, go down on the back straight.
They were side by side for a moment. Zed's in the rear of Laz. I think Laz was a little late getting on the throttle. Zed didn't fully expect it and kind of just pit maneuvers the Sauber there. That's going to get looked at after the race. And that also gives Avo now right back into the DRS, right back into the fight here. Though for how long, I'm not sure.
I know Avo does have damage, so I'm surprised he didn't pit there. Laz, I'm not sure if he got any damage. I think he did manage to hit the side of the wall, so I think he will be fine.
Yeah, maybe Avo's damage is just superficial.
It could be. But I do see John heading a train of ties and Luck. Luck will be looking to try to get past here. Try not to get stuck in the DRS train. That is the worst thing that he wants right now.
Indeed it is. Leo and Drew are currently strung out about 6 times. Oh my god, there's Ties! Getting by on the DRS, gets clear before the World Championship chicane, and now Luck is going to be looking to pounce. Ooh, Luck's taking the outside, John on the inside, but Luck's through. Ooh, John. Late braking a little bit. Almost trying to hang it around the outside. That's Laz with a 3-second time penalty for track limits, and Avery is currently now dropping back to Zed. So he could very well have damaged. The longer he stays out, the worse it's going to get for him. But this does kind of put Morgan back into play, this whole thing, at least for P9.
I do wonder if Luck will be daring to make a move. We had a look at it. That would have been... Whew, that would have been very risky. He might want to try go for it down at the hairpin. I see he looks for it, but no, he opts to wait.
Yeah, he's antsy. He wants to swing at this.
He'll definitely get his chance down the back straight with DRS.
Yeah, here he goes. Drew content to sit in Leo's DRS, but Luck pulling outside. And he's through. Very clear, very easy DRS pass with the battery. I wonder if Ties run out of resources, really, to defend that position.
Could just be that it's not his fight to deal with. He knows he's not going to be fighting Luck for too long with that, and he'll just make himself more vulnerable to John behind.
John's right up to that gearbox right now. They go through to downhill sector 1 into the DRS detection zone. They're going to go through this chicane. This is one where it's really easy to get squirrely on the exits and lose the rear tires, but these cars have managed to get through right now. John... Ooh, that's Luck with a 3-second time penalty for track limits.
So further up the track, it does look like Drew is right behind Leo's gearbox.
Yeah, there he goes.
Could he make a move here? He does seem to fall back a bit on the exit of the hairpin.
It's going to come down to the battery levels, really.
I imagine both of them are content keeping it as they are.
Indeed, Drew's going to be waiting for that slam dunk opportunity. I don't think he wants to risk it this early in the Grand Prix. Ooh, he's getting real close to Leo there in Senna. Now they're going through turn 3 and 4, that downhill chicane. Approaching turn 6 now.
Glazzy also getting a 3-second time penalty on that downward chicane. He's also being caught up by the train headed by Luck.
Indeed.
So Luck might just bring Ties and John into this, although they are just now edging out of DRS.
Drew may have a chance at the hairpin. He's willing to send it. He's not. No need to take a huge risk this early. Leo gets a really good exit out of the hairpin compared to Drew. And now he's fallen ahead. Drew falling back.
Yeah, it's the one thing with this track is that if you don't get a good exit on the hairpin, you are not overtaking anybody unless you've got a massive overspeed. Even with the double DRS, the hairpin is final for if a move is made or not.
Indeed, it is. John's about 7/10 behind Ties right now. Ties does not have the DRS to Luck to defend. But he doesn't necessarily need that DRS, he just needs to stay within that 3 seconds to Luck in order to benefit from the positions there. As John's getting really close, actually, coming through, but so is Drew. Drew, within 3 attempts, there's a yellow flag for Laz.
It looks to have just been a spin. I do not see any damage on his car.
Yeah, I don't see any damage either. These two are gonna be really close. I think Drew got the exit. A little bit. No, Leo's just strong on the throttle.
He might be able to get it on the second bite of the cherry.
Yeah, we'll see. Drew
Leo
leaving a little more room.
Yeah, Leo does take the entire of the tea of the curb, while Drew is a bit more cautious on the exit.
Yeah, doesn't want to hit that wall. But he is pressuring Leo into taking up those curves. Like, we saw Leo taking safer lines in qualifying, so getting that pressure onto the driver you're trying to pass, baiting them into a mistake is kind of just what we got going on right now.
Yeah, but Luck is currently stuck behind Glazzy, but Glazzy made a mistake on the exit. Luck is going to have DRS, but he's going to have to go around the outside.
They were phasing through each other on my end a little bit.
Well, that's also one way to do it. But
no, Glazzy is now a second ahead.
Some dark magic being imposed by the Haas garage here.
Yeah, I think the Haas have hired they've brought in a swarm of Tiamats. I think is what has happened. God help us all.
They say if we can have a dragon driver, we'll at least make it seem like we have one.
Exactly.
But all this is doing is holding Luck up.
Indeed. Maybe that's part strategy.
Yeah, every lap that Glazzy holds Luck back, that is resources expended by Luck. That is time lost to Drew and Leo.
Yeah, and like it could if they fight hard enough, it puts Ties and John into play.
Yeah, one mistake or one coming together, and now they'll both have to get back through those two again for Luck, which isn't going to be a pushover, especially with how DRS trains form on this track. Yep.
Laz did have to pit. He pit onto the hard tire. So I guess there was
a massive lock-up from Luck.
Ooh. Yep. Here he goes. Looks like Luck is going to have a chance here. He pulls to the...
He's going to really go for it.
Yep. Glazzy backing out in the wall of champion chicane. The double DRS is going to solidify the position here. Luck is through, but Glazzy's only 2 temps behind. So Glazzy's going to have a chance.
What to do is hold on.
Yeah, just hold on. He's going to be able to fight back. He does have the pace in that Haas. As it goes downhill from 4. Meanwhile, we do have a couple fights going on. We have Morgan going to be pressuring Avo in a moment. But Drew is within 2 temps now. He's getting very close. Not willing to try anything in the hairpin. Which, if you're that close, I might just be a fan of trying to make something happen in the hairpin, compromise Leo's line through it, just because he has such a better line than you.
Yeah, I feel like that might be the best way for Drew to get past Leo, is to try and spook him at the hairpin.
Yeah, but they are going to be very close going into Ayrton Senna here. And that's Morgan past Avo there. It looks like Morgan managed to make the move happen into hairpin, and now they're going to be going down the casino straight. Avo is close, though. He's pulled to the inside. They're going to be side by side going through the wall of champion chicane. No, Morgan's pitting.
Morgan's pitting? That's a really early pit stop again. Did she break her wing? 8 laps on the mediums. Seemed a really short amount of time.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Avo also has a broken end plate.
Yeah, Morgan does get her wing fixed.
Yeah, Avo might also have to get his wing fixed with that broken end plate.
I do remember that happening during when he went wide at the hairpin. So he's been nursing that that Aston Martin this entire race so far.
Indeed. I wonder if that maybe contributed to a little incident at the chicane. Like, even with two perfectly functional cars going through that chicane side by side is an impossibility, as Laz appears to have spun once again. John with a 3-second time penalty for track limit warnings, as it looks like he and Ty's fought through the Wall of Champions chicane. They're approaching Ayrton Senna now. Drew gonna be within a few attempts here. We'll
At what
see
point are you Drew and you just go for it? You're stuck behind Leo. It's either you're either perfectly calm or you're really frustrated behind it. It's never both.
So I feel like the ideal answer here is you don't send it till after the pit stops. But I think Drew's itching. I think just at this point, getting so close every time to the hairpin, he might just send it. Oh, Drew is pitting! So it looks like before we try high-risk overtakes, we're going to be trying a strategy gamble here.
See what ties he goes on to. Is it going to be the hard or the soft?
It's mediums!
It's another set of mediums!
So Drew is locked into a two-stop.
It's a very good, it's a very unique play, but I feel like it's a weird one. I feel like if you're going to be doing a two-stop, you're going to be pitting a bit earlier than that. The ball is now in Leo's court. Will he try to follow with a two-stop, or will he stick to his strategy, go mediums to hards, and see if he can hold it off a late charge from Drew? Because Drew does now have to go through Ty's and John, who have been basically at each other's throats the entire race.
Yeah, they are just glued together. Meanwhile, Zed has pit onto a fresh set of medium tires as well. They're locked into a two-stop. So far, the only one...
Glazzy!
Glazzy?
I think Glazzy's gone really wide into the hairpin.
Indeed. Glazzy's also charging up his battery from the looks of it. He's used a lot of it. Drew is catching up to this fight here.
Right.
And Leo's about to lap Laz.
Question is, you can catch up to a DRS train, but can you get past the DRS train is a completely different and much harder story to tell.
Yeah, especially as these two have been fighting one another all race. They're gonna be desperate to get past each other. John's right on that gearbox.
And of course, if these two fight and hold up Drew, his undercut is ruined and it all plays into Leo's hands. But he gets a really good exit!
Oh my goodness!
Is he gonna make a double overtake here?
Yeah, there he goes. He has a lot of traction. That's fresh rubber right there. Drew gets past both cars, and he is now back in the fourth position.
He's gotta be very careful here. I reckon Ties might try to make a charge back at him though. Down the double straight. Oh, but
oh no, John! John getting a little inside there. That's going to be enough to disrupt any kind of attempt to get back that position. We'll see what Ty is looking to do.
Drew here.
Yeah, I think there's going to have to be a nice call-in of a favor there for that one. Maybe an ice cream or a beer after the race, but Drew now going through Ayrton Senna. Leo, our race leader, has stayed out a couple laps. Drew's got to be in the DRS range of his teammate.
You'd expect Glazzy will just let him by here on this. Maybe try to grab DRS down the back, down the big long back straight to help himself get out of the fight with Ties and John, and that's what you see him doing out of the way.
Yep, Glazzy not fighting there, using the DRS, and Glazzy has another 3-second time penalty for track limits.
Yeah, that's going to be very important to keep a hold of at near the end of the race.
Indeed, here go. Drew getting a good exit out of the hairpin. Looks like Leo's decided to stay out another lap.
Yeah, that gap's now gone down to just over 14 seconds as Luck pits from second.
Yep, that Luck coming in. We'll see to what tire. Hard tires. Luck's going to be going for a one-stop. Have to assume that Leo's also going to be going for a one-stop here. Will anybody react to Luck? Let's see.
I would like to see either one of Ty's or John go into the pit soon. I think for one of them, the best bet is to try to break the toe from the other one. But John is starting to build a bit. He looks like he is pushing Ty's away, but right as I said, that Ty's going to come right back here in DRS.
Yeah, he's going to get that DRS. These two just need to break each other apart. I imagine they're both just trying to see how far they can get these medium tires. One of them might even be trying to go medium soft, which is a possibility.
I've never been a big fan of the medium soft strategy here.
That's Leo in the pits.
Another
Here he comes. He's going onto the hard tire. It's going to be a one-stop. So this race is going to be won or lost on the strategy of the Haas team as Glazzy's coming into the pits, as well as John. Glazzy pitting on the hard tires. Looks like he's going for a one-stop. John on the hard tires. One stop.
See, I think
staying out.
I would have had Glazzy stay out a couple laps just to see if he can hold up Leo a little bit for Drew.
Yeah, especially because Drew's entire plan is built around a two-stop strategy. You do kind of need that rear gunner roll just a little bit, but I suppose Glazzy doesn't want to sacrifice his whole race.
Yeah, with Ty's and John right behind him, and that 6 seconds of penalties, he doesn't want to lose much time for that. I do want to see how Ty's reacts. If I imagine he'll come in this lap, see how much the undercut worked for John.
Yep, Avery did also pit onto hard tires, so he's doing a one-stop, and that front wing looks fixed as well.
Ty's does not pit. Ty stays out.
Interesting. Interesting call from the Williams. As Luck goes fastest overall on the new set of hard tires. Drew's managed to keep that gap to Leo at about 6 seconds. I think his main thing here is that he has to get clear of Luck in the pit window.
Yeah, that would be the way out, would be the main thing. But Luck setting the fastest lap of the race last lap, he's definitely not doing that.
Yeah, and Glazzy's not going to be in play to deal with Luck to slow him down even a little bit.
The only one who might be is Ty's, and Ty's on extremely worn medium tires. Will probably not put much of a fight to Luck at all, much like the first time.
Yep. Drew is now our race leader with 19 laps in to the Canadian Grand Prix. It is Drew leading Leo. Then the Williams of Ty's getting into the pits. He was running third. He's going to emerge around 5th or 6th. So it's now Luck in third. Glazzy's going to get promoted up to 4th, and it looks like John's going to get promoted up to P5. So Ty is getting sent down to P6. Then we have our two McLaren drivers running 7th and 8th, with Zed leading Morgan. Zed will have to stop again, though. Then it's Avery, who was nursing a broken wing after starting with his best start of the season. Unfortunately, it came undone in the opening laps. And then we have Laz, who has just been lapped again by the Mercedes.
Is another 3-second penalty for luck, though.
Oof. The luck's
Nice.
pushing hard, but at what cost?
Well, I mean, if he can secure Leo the win, it doesn't matter how many penalties he gets as long as he stays third.
Indeed, and is that his second or third penalty so far?
That is his second. He's up to 6 seconds, same as Glaszy right now.
Yeah, so net-wise, Glazzy and Luck are in the same position. The last time we saw this strategy that Drew is doing be attempted, I think it was with Lenny in round 1 or 2. No, because you won round 1. I think it was round 2 or 3, where Leo was on a 1-stop with old hards. Lenny went medium, soft.
Ooh. That could have been Spain. My memory doesn't let me remember that. It could either be that or it would be something like Zandvoort, I think.
I think it was Spain. That sounds right. Because it was Spain. Because then Lenny in that, like, fast turn 1-2 just ate a little too much curb and spun. Otherwise, he probably would have won the race. And I think Leo himself admitted to that, but Leo is actually eating into the gap that Drew has right now from the pit stops. The McLarens did a little switcheroo.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the strategy is working out for Drew. I think the soft tire or the medium tires already wearing away quicker than the hard tires really have gained. It's looking like he might just have to call it quits on this strategy as quickly as he can and go onto the hard tires of everyone and just hope the full 5-lap advantage will be enough to soar him back into a potential win here.
Yeah, it's either that or he's just staying on this strategy till death do him part for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much quicker the soft tires. I know the soft tires are much quicker here on one lap, but over a race, over multiple laps,
he just needs to get to something like lap 26 or 27, and that soft tire will be a good run for him.
Still, 10 laps on those softs will still hurt coming the end of it, so he'd have to make a 19-second gap in 7 or 8 laps and not chew his tires and battery up enough to get past Leo at the end as well.
Indeed. Leo is starting to close. But I think key-wise here, Luck isn't really moving back. So Drew is at least keeping pace with Luck, it seems. Just looking at these gaps to each other. And I think Drew still has a chance.
I think he does, but I think he has to really go for it within a few laps, or else he is going to really struggle to make up that time near the end. And with Luck will probably try to be as aggressive as possible to defend that position for Leo.
And that's currently Glazzy lapping the Sauber of Laz, who it just wasn't his day today. Out there, he's gonna be essentially just doing the full. Wouldn't surprise me if he's just out here right now to get that 90% race distance and get the point that Sauber really need to keep their constructors fight alive.
Yeah, with Avo only finishing 9th as well, that's only going to increase the gap to 4 points between the two of them.
Yeah, though Zed does have to pit still.
Oh, John gets another 3 seconds. He's up to 6 seconds as well with Ty. Well, not with Ties, with Glazzy and Luck. Ty's still not getting a penalty and only being just over 7 seconds behind Glazzy. If he can make a charge or if Glazzy makes a mistake, he'll be under threat from Ty's more than anything else with that penalties.
Yeah, ooh. That's the Sauber getting lapped. Now by the Red Bull, and then it's going to be the Williams lapping the Sauber. We have the two McLarens who are going to be... Ferrari, I think, took back their lead over the McLarens and the constructors by 1 point. This is going to be a good haul for the McLarens in their fight against Ferrari.
Oh yeah, with both Ferrari cars missing this round, any haul of points for McLaren will be huge for them as Leo is within DRS. He has DRS off the back of Drew now.
Crucially, Luck's also starting to close into Drew a little bit.
Yeah, that gap was 7 seconds, is now down to 6 between the two of them.
Yeah, that's not good if you are Drew. And I think at this point, you just you can't lose too much time fighting Leo. Your fight in the immediate term is to stay within a reasonable time of Luck once you pit. Drew not really fighting hard for it. Oh, he's pitting!
That is exactly what he needs to do here. He's going to put on the soft tyres and he's going to try and make as much of a fuss as he can on these soft tyres.
Yeah. Here come the red rimmed softs as Drew is put down nice and quick by the Haas crew.
Also, Ties is actually slowly catching Glazzy, which with with 3 laps newer tyres, he might still be able to get that gap. Watch that gap between Glazzy and Ties. It's going to be 4th place, and either one of Glazzy could still lose it to Ties.
Yeah, Ties with a 4th place finish, I think, seals Williams pretty well for the constructor position that they have. Then at that point, there's just not really much that Aston Martin or Sauber can do without a podium in the last race at France at Paul Ricard. But here comes Drew.
He's already gained a second on the outlap to Leo. He's only 16 seconds behind.
Yeah, he's doing quite well. And he's 9.4 seconds back now to Luck. Luck is going to be the key figure here in this fight.
How much can Luck defend from Drew, and can Drew even make up the gap? That is still a hefty gap to try to make up.
Drew with a purple sector 1. You're really seeing that gap come down in the corners as the soft tires are able to fire up, get that traction down. A little uphill. Chicane. Drew's now approaching the hairpin. Purple sector 2. Down to 7.7 seconds. Zed also pitting onto the soft tires. They had to pit. But, this is going to be disaster for them. They're going to get lapped. They are getting lapped by 1 Mercedes at the very least. Looking at Zed. Yeah.
They might try to unlap themselves, though, as Drew does set the fastest lap of the race. Gains 2.5 seconds on Leo. Now that is how you make a charge.
Yeah. I imagine these two are already debriefing. They both know what to do. Leo's just gonna go as fast as he can, really, without taking too much unnecessary risk. But just trying to keep that, I would say, within, like, a second of Drew's lap times. Just buy as much time as he can.
But Drew is still another 1.5 seconds in on this lap. He's absolutely fired up in that Haas.
Yeah, that Haas and those soft tires are working quite well together. Zed is closing in, actually, on Leo, and this might have another interesting dynamic to it as Leo decides how much pace they could really put down compared to Zed. Morgan's also on 3-lap old mediums.
Oh, but she
And there's
does
a
get a
3
penalty.
second.
That is her first penalty of the race. It does now force her to fight Avo on track for that 7th position.
Yep, Avo with it. Avo getting 7th position's not a bad start, but he hits the wall! He's out!
And it's called a safety car!
Oh, this is... I don't know if this is a disaster or a... This is a disaster for the Haas, I would say.
It is. It is awful for the Haas. His soft tyre advantage is gone. He does have a second set of softs to use though in the race. He only used one soft. He only used one soft set in quali, remember. So he does have that extra soft set.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see everybody coming in except maybe Zed.
Yeah,
that's a Mercedes coming in.
But I think everybody's gonna come in. This is going to put Ty's in a much better position now because Ty's hasn't got a penalty, and with Glazzy, John, and Luck all with 6-second time penalties, Ty's could very well be on the podium coming into this race if
There's Drew coming
Luck
in.
Fight.
Actually, it makes sense that the McLarens didn't go in. It lets them unlap themselves.
Yeah, I imagine they're gonna come in on this lap as well now.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna just like delay their coming in if they're gonna come in. Zed, I don't imagine is gonna come in just with 2-lap old softs. It's not that much of a difference. And they think they used quite a few in quali.
Oh, John's getting his wing fixed. He's going to end up behind Ty's on track. I can't remember if he was behind on track or not, but...
I think he was behind. No, John was ahead. Clarence rounding the hairpin as the safety car has caught Leo, the AMG safety car.
It's one of the AMG Mercedes.
Yeah. Just saying AMG on the front windscreen.
Yep, everyone is on fresh soft tyres. Zed does in fact opt to not pit. Organ does go on to fresh softs as well.
Yep.
So now the question is, can Drew get by Luck quickly? Will Luck fight Leo quickly at all? And
yeah, Luck and Leo have fought before.
And more importantly, if they do fight, can Ty's and Glazzy keep up to ruin the party, ruin the status quo on the podium?
Yeah. Crucially, if you're Luck, I don't take any unnecessary risks here. Like, you just gotta... Your fights with, I guess, John? With the penalty? Because, like, Ty's is gonna keep up with you.
You don't... I mean, with the pace that Luck has shown, if him and Leo can piggyback off of one another, it could very well happen. And it could also be that Leo lets Luck by with the penalty, so Leo can have the DRS to defend from Drew.
Yeah. Zed's also in a very interesting spot. They're in P7, but a lot of the drivers ahead of them have penalties. John has a penalty. Morgan behind them has a penalty. Lazarus behind them has a penalty.
Laz is a lap down, though. He is at the back of this safety car train.
Yeah. So just a lot of penalties round.
And with the last few laps going to be fighting tooth and wire, it's going to be... I imagine we're going to see a few more. It might just come down to who doesn't get a penalty. Who's on the least amount of warnings.
Yeah, I believe that if at least past performance goes by anything, that's Leo right now.
Having a look, it does look like Leo has only had one, but so does Drew. Both Drew and Leo both are on one.
Interesting there.
Ty does appear to be on two, so he will have to play. He will have to try to play it safe while also, obviously, trying to keep up. Because I mean, a podium is on, and do the stewards have a Belgian flag?
No, I don't. I don't know, but looks like Zed has caught the Sauber of Laz, and then it's Morgan catching up to them behind. Here they go.
It'd be a 5-lap dash to the line, which
Indeed.
will give us 2 laps of DRS, and we'll have to see if anyone can make use of that.
Yeah, the safety car should come in this lap. Yeah, there it is. So Leo is going to get throttled. I do like Luck for a little bit, was giving plenty of space, but now this is really bunched up.
Munching up all the way down this straight. Safety car's
Indeed.
gonna come in. Leo, I wouldn't release until the very last second on this track. Although you can very easily be cheeky and start it right into the Wall of Champions chicane. Does he do that?
We'll see. Oh, there's some contact on the rear wings, but it looks like we are once again away in Montreal. I think a couple of the drivers behind got a little too itchy on the jump. I did see Luck and Drew hitting the rear of Leo. I think expecting him to go a
John do
little
go side by side. They're locking wheels. Is it going to be heartbreak?
Oh, here we go.
John gets through. Luck gets another penalty.
I'm not surprised there. Luck was fighting hard. And Luck's already, like, held back Drew more than enough. They're going to be side by side.
But he's not going to make it. Luck's going to say, no, you are not getting to my teammate. You're going to sit right behind me. But Drew's going to make the move down to the hairpin. Is he going to lock up? Is he going to make it? He is. Is Classy going to come through as well?
Classy's going to try to follow. Luck has nothing to fight there. I think he was using a lot of battery to try to give his teammates some cover. The blue flag's flashing for the Sauber.
Oh, but they're coming side by side. They're going to go side by side into the chicane.
Luck a little too tight. Drew and Luck are side by side. This is a phenomenal scrap.
But all this is doing...
Oh, there's contact! There's a lot of contact. Both drivers fighting hard.
All this is doing, though, is giving Leo the victory. Leo's running away with it. Luck is doing everything in his power to stop that. Stop that Haas getting by. Drew is all over the place, looking at the back. Is he gonna make? They're gonna touch.
There he goes. There's even more contact. Drew almost squeezing him. Luck giving him the return. They keep hitting each other. This is something. Oh my goodness! And Luck cut across it. Drew cut across in a way that caused Luck to spin. I think that's gonna have to get looked at after the race.
All this has done is brought ties into third place and possibly even second place with that, and Morgan as well.
Yeah, John's in some kind of a fight here as well. The only not really in a fight is Zed. Luck is slow getting by. And I think that's guaranteed Zed a P7 here, as Leo is well clear on the penultimate lap.
I want to check
And
if
it
there's
looks...
any damage on Drew's car. He did just get passed by Glazzy. Are they now fighting, or will Drew try to hold up John to give Glazzy that position? Hold up John, Ties, and Morgan to secure a Haas 2-3.
Yeah, I think you gotta play the team game here at this point.
John!
Oh, John's wide!
John's
John
wide,
got a
forces
little
Ties wide,
squirrely.
is Ties in the wall, he is not in the wall, but that is exactly what he does not want. He does not want the Haas cars running away. He doesn't want to lose any time if he can.
Yeah, John's rounding about. Here they go to the hairpin. I see Ties with a blinking red light on the back. He is expending as much as that Williams can give him. Morkan's also going to be looking to get a good exit out of the hairpin. But John manages to get the exit as well. Glazzy and Drew are going to be close as well there. John's not in DRS anymore. Morgan's pulling to the inside. They're going to be side by side for the World Champions. Morgan had the traction. John had the sausage curb. And now he is under threat from Ties on track as Morgan gets quite a run out.
Ties thinks better of it, though he does need to make sure that he...
Here come these three fighting hard on the last lap of the race. Here we go. We are about to see our final positions get decided through this race. Glazzy has used up all of his battery trying to hold off his teammate. Will Drew give him the P2? Will Drew fight him? We'll have to see. Here they go around the hairpin. But we are going to see a lot of action going down, as for the last time we are preparing to go through the wall of champion chicane. Leo has used up his battery. He's gone hard. I think he's going for a fastest lap. The Mercedes pit crew are cheering as Leo wins the Canadian Grand Prix. He's fought hard, but Glazzy gets P2 on track. Drew takes it from the penalties. Ties promoted up to P3 after penalties applied. That's a podium for the Williams. His first podium for the Williams.
Williams' first podium as well.
Indeed. A fantastic day. I'm sure the Williams pit crew are ecstatic. Man. What a race. What a Grand Prix. But it's our red dragon on top. The world champion taking the top step.
Drew once again adds another podium to his name, but Ties. Williams' hero, Belgium's hero, to get his first podium in FRL.
Indeed. And that, I think, will, in all likelihood, secure Williams P7. Or, sorry, P8 in the constructors' standings. Ahead of the Aston and the Sauber. Laz and the Sauber gets 2 points against the Aston Martin. Who,
that will definitely be... That'll be 1 point between them going into France.
Yeah. I don't think Avery got enough for his point to count, despite DNFing, so I don't think he's officially classified.
And McLaren have definitely given themselves a good chance to hold on to fifth for that as well in the constructors to overtake Ferrari.
Indeed. A very strong result, though, for all of our drivers. A very strong race. There's going to have to be a little bit of an investigation, I think, after Luck's defending there. He was defending hard, he was defending wide, he was taking risks defending. An awful lot of contact. I know the stewards here. They're going to want to look at that. And I know Drew, I think, I don't know how Drew's going to be feeling after that one. But he put up a really good race, despite taking the unorthodox strategy. He got a little bailed out by the safety car to a degree, but it ultimately hurt him more than anything.
Yeah, he was gaining 2 seconds a lap going on that last stint. By that, he would have actually caught up to Leo and probably would have easily gone past Luck as well. So it would have been a tight one to call. I do think that his tires would have dropped off too much to really stick it to the other Mercedes, but in the end, it's still another P2 for Drew, which is always good for the championship, and I think secures him second place as well.
Indeed. Apparently, Avo is saying that his DNF was just a result of a misclick, which is an unfortunate time, but sometimes that does happen in racing. But next week, we have a season finale. It wasn't planned initially, but it's going to be at the Paul Ricard circuits. A nice send-off to the Paul Ricard circuits, as it is not in F1 24. And
as far as we know,
if we do switch to that game, then, well, this could be our last time racing it for now. So get yourselves ready for that one. Unfortunately, we don't have our French driver presumably racing for it. But for now, I've been Nexy. I've been joined by Sierra and Perdas, running this broadcast affiliated with FSN. Thank you very much. Take care.